To recapitulate a little on this situation, Ramaswamy and Madeline have almost reached a dead end in their married life. Madeline, after her conversion to Buddhism, is more and more convinced of the failure of their marriage, though this conviction does not in the least lessen her love and concern of Ramaswamy. On the other hand, he is most unhappy with the change that has come over Madeline and is unable to understand it despite his sincere efforts. It is at this critical juncture in their lives that she questions him as to what is it that separated them. She has always had the highest regard for Ramaswamy, who, as a Brahmin and an Indian, is for her true repository of wisdom. That is the reason why she poses this question to him, and it is the natural culmination to the differences between them. And now follows this long intellectual dialogues between the two. It is not as if this is the first time that they indulge in such a conversation, since we have seen them earlier as two intellectuals give expressions into their inner conflicts and dilemmas. This answer of Ramaswamy pinpoints the reason for their separation as being the difference inherent between the two cultures. For him, Madeline's conversion to Buddhism, as she had unfortunately assumed, does not bring her closer to India. As emphasized earlier on, Ramaswamy could only marry an Indian and none else. The entire passage is of central importance to an understanding of their relationship and hence organically connected to the theme of the novel. C.D. Narasimhaya is aware of the importance of the passage, but believes, quite contrary to the facts of the situation, that it does not emerge out of the context of the novel. Now that is important is to remember that is the conversation between Ramaswamy and Madeline does not stop there. It continues with Ramaswamy going on to speak of the Marxist view of the world, that the world exists and so you, and of the Vedantins that you convinced by Ramaswamy's you exit and so the world. Madeline, who is not perhaps totally convinced by Ramaswamy's earlier answer, wants to know the position of Buddhism in view of these two attitudes to life. He tells her that to have compassion presupposes the existence of the world. He states it in unequivocal terms little later. The Buddhists say the world, the perception is real, sarvam chanikam, that everything is momentous the moment we see it. The Vedantan says the perception is real, yes, but the true reality is myself, and that difference is big enough to drive the Buddhism of Gautama outside our frontiers. Even the Madeline would like to be left to her poetic world of Buddhism. As a further clarification of these two different attitudes towards reality, he enacts the difference through the metaphor of the serpent and the rope. The world is either unreal or real, the serpent or the rope. There is no in between the two, and all that's in between is poetry, is sainthood. You might go on saying all the time, no one is the rope and stoned in the serpent. And looking at the rope from the serpent is to see paradises, saints, avatars, gods, heroes, and universes. For wheresoever you go, you see only with the serpent's eyes, whether you call it duality or modified duality. You invent a belvedere to heaven. You look at the rope from the posture of the serpent. You feel you are the serpent. You are the rope is. But in true fact, with whatever eyes you see, there is no serpent. There never was a serpent. You gave your own eyes to the falling evening and cried, Ayo, ho, it's the serpent. You run and roll and lament and have compassion for fear of pain others or your own. You see the serpent, and in fear you feel you are it, the serpent, the saint. One, the Guru, brings you the lantern. The road is seen, the long, white road, going with the statutory stones, is only the rope. He shows it to you, and you touch your eyes and know there never was a serpent. Where was it? Where, I ask you? The poet who saw the rope as a serpent became the serpent, and so a saint. Now the saint is shown that his sainthood was identification, not realization. The actual, the real has no name. The rope is no rope to itself. Then what is it? The rope, not as opposed to the serpent, but the rope justice, and therefore there is no world. But there can be a Beatrix, she implored. Yes, I said, after a long while, yes, where I am not, when I can love the self in Maitreyi, I can be Yajnavalkya. Find then, my friend, an Indian Maitreyi. Let me be the woman of marches. This is the climax to a long dialogue that runs on for almost 5 pages. As Ramaswamy himself puts it, the battle at last had ended. Hence, the passage quoted by C.D. Narasimhaya cannot be read in isolation, but has to be taken in its entirety in the context of their attempt to intellectually comprehend the reasons for the catastrophe that their marriage eventually turned out to be. When viewed in this manner, the entire passage appears to be intimately related to the theme of the novel. The use of aphoristic and enactment modes. The passage quoted above in full is again significant from the point of view of Raja Rao's mode of writing. The Serpent and the Rope is a wise combination of altogether two different modes, the aphoristic and that of enactment. The central concept of Shankara's Advaita philosophy is not stated, but is it most poetically enacted by the novelist in an artistically satisfying manner in the passage. Another example of such a mode illustrates this point further. To meddle in query whether is it possible always to speak the truth, Ramaswamy replies in the negative because for him truth is a question of perspective, and this intellectual belief of his is rendered through an